Trapped. Nobody sees you, yet everyone looks. The prettiest of covers is not how to judge books. They saw your face, but your beauty mistook. They saw the food, but not the cook. You've got a big heart, you've got a bright soul. But out in the world, you're only seen as gold. Not all your parts, not all your whole. Not seen as a person, but more as a goal. Blinded by beauty, but beauty is more than just what we see from the front door. And yet you're trapped by your own value. Hard to know who you are when everyone else tells you. Constantly reinforced that you're a shining gem. That you're precious by looks and you believe them. Blinded by pulchritude, by ostentation. If you're loved on the surface, it's a condemnation. It's a material trap of excessive attention. Hollow interactions have little retention. I see deep into your eyes and I see your grace. That not even you perceive, but it's written all over your face. Yet you can lie to yourself and you can look to others. Say that you're partners when you're really just lovers. Because in fact, you find it hard to decide whose intentions are good and which intentions may hide. Because you've not travelled deep into your own shadow. You've been so venerated that you've never had to. People propose you the world, ones they cannot offer. They'll do anything for you, but not what's proper. And it's not just in the world that you lose yourself. It's a decline in your peace and your mental health. And you lose touch with your own body. Because how it's treated is pretty shoddy. To feel yourself fully, you need a connection. Not stemming from others, but divine direction. And you're told you're a trophy implicitly. Made to incite adoration, but also jealousy. Hard to make friends without a tinge of envy. Few to rely on, but the suitors are plenty. Eyes are a window, they lead to the soul. But some look in your eyes and just see a goal. You can kid that you're loved, deny the truth to yourself. But to be seen as an object is bad for your health. Because real love is passion, it is understanding. It is willing to suffer, it is more than the branding. When you put on your mask and make it your face, then you can't expect others to treat you with grace. You can hold sanctity in your own space. You can be a divine being or a thing out of place. It's so hard to be yourself when in constant defence. You're always in armour in a world of pretense. And so in the rare moments where you meet a white knight, you may be uneasy and unsure because you've accepted your plight. Better the devil you already know. You feel safe in your bonds rather than risk it and grow. You've become too stuck, too afraid of the unknown. You're not going to bloom those seeds that you've sown. You've accepted your value and just on the surface. The material has a price, but at some point it's worthless. And there is your own ego from it all being so easy. You can get what you want, so your morals are breezy. You search for riches, you dive into the game. You'll sell your soul if it buys you fame. You do little to resist, a little to refrain. If you feel it suits you, if it gets you, gain. The harder lessons you can put aside, you can bury your head as the consequences hide. Success is a trap, more so than failure. There's more to a movie than just the trailer. And when you take what you get purely from looks, you'll stay on the surface with liars and crooks. People get obsessed with you, male or female, blinded by your beauty, caught up in the detail. Too many options, not all of them healthy. So many ways to get shallowly wealthy. You need to love yourself to know your worth. No, really love yourself, not covering the dearth. Pretty has a price, one you never knew you paid. Both blessing and curse, self-realization delayed. You'll miss the good ones if you don't see the good. You don't ignore all the noise, but you know you really should. Your intuition is your friend, and it's oblivious to how you look. When it comes to your spirit, it's within the covers of your book. You're not judged by the front or the back or in between. You're not seen for the whole. You're held for the unseen. It's not because of the attire that you're seen as a dream. It's not for the crown that you're seen as king or queen. And for some, the curse is their status. No material limits, yet a heart held in hiatus. Not knowing who loves them inside, with so many admirers for what they can provide. Looking for affection with genuine emotion, but hard to decipher authentic devotion. And so too the risk of being trapped in the ego. What do you engage with and what do you forego? And your own regality can weigh heavy on high because there's more above you, even if with wealth you deny. A human god, but still only human. Full of egoic illusions and you can't see through them. It's funny really that your power traps, caught in a system and you can't step back. Your greatest asset, your looks or your wealth, become a double-edged sword to your inner health. And it starts within before it reflects out. With all the wealth in the world, you can be tormented by doubt. Your soul can be twisted, your heart can be numbed, your spirit is tested, and to the material you've succumbed. Your society tells you you're a resounding success. So why inside do you feel such a mess? Why in this glory is it so hard to perceive? Why in this freedom is it so hard to breathe? Because what's on the surface can easily deceive. What is seen as value is what we're led to believe. Because to feel more stable, you need a true foundation. Glitter only gets so far as ostentation. And what seems to feed you leads to deprivation. What depletes your heart is your ego's salvation. The more you engage, the more the intoxication, the harder to heal and make reparation. Yet it is not impossible, there is always hope. When you've slid down, climb back up the slope. And if addressed en masse, the changes augment. One big turn of the tide shifts the whole environment. When you see the problem is less. When you see more clearly, you see beyond the mess. And to see the issue is the start of redress. Within a knowing, you can start to impress. You always have hope, you always have light. To take what was wrong and to start to make it right. And if you need help, all you need do is call. You're not alone in your rise, you're not alone in your fall. Have faith and trust in more than yourself. Believe you're connected for your own mental health. You are not your trauma, you are not your darkness. In the human condition is a divine vastness. Have faith in yourself and in something higher. You can rise in the flames or burn in the fire. And as the illusion of looks becomes more a shadow, all that seemed worthy now seems shallow. And with the blindfold off, the way that seemed narrow becomes very clear to a world more hollow. to a greater meaning, to a wider purpose, to something much deeper than what we see on the surface. There's so much more life at the bottom of the ocean. There's so much more meaning in a life of devotion. Don't fear the tide, flow with the motion. For you are not trapped, it's a conditioned notion. A bird in the cage cannot see that there's always a way for a bird to be free.